And welcome in to Genesis Place in Airdrie for game number 10 of the Larry Bishop Memorial. Excuse me, game number 9 of the Larry Bishop Memorial. It's the Manitoba Blizzard and the Mountain View Mavericks. The Mavericks roll in at 3-0. The Blizzard come in at 2-1. And we got plenty on the line here tonight. With a win, the Mavericks are assured of a spot in Monday's final. With a loss, things get interesting. The Rebels with a win later tonight would book their ticket into the final. If the Blizzard were to win here tonight, then a Rebels win later on would create a three-way tie, where math comes in to the equation, and we'll get to that a little later on. But the general idea of this game is that the Blizzard need to win this game by at least 3 goals. And if they do so, they'll put themselves in position to make it into the final of the 2024 Larry Bishop Memorial. Of course, the winner of Monday's game, the final, will go to the Founders Cup unless the Blizzard are involved, and then the team that would be playing them would already be in as the Alberta representative, because the Blizzard, of course, represent Manitoba. Ball over on the left side. Evan Fielding is gonna look inside, and that pass evaded his target, Andy Angus. Ball goes into the corner and it's picked up by Muratori, coming off a hat trick last night against the Shamrocks. And that ball is sent down the floor, and Hildebrandt couldn't quite chase that down. It was bounced out of his reach, and the ball is going to be picked up by McDonald. Healthy scratches tonight for the Blizzard: Morgan Curry, Logan Chablik, Wyatt Gallagher, Chase Thindall, and Reese White. And for the Mavericks, Drake May, Kai Kloss, Noah Perez, Devin Gardner, and Grayson Amundsen. Ball is picked up, and Will Angus, the captain, is going to swing it over, and that shot's taken from distance from Wiley. Muratori with the loose ball. And here come the Mavericks. Saw it last night. They're at their most dangerous when they're running in transition. Scored 6 goals of their 8 in that form, which was paramount in an 8-7 win against the Shamrocks. Shamrocks losing earlier today, the Rebels, in what was the game of the tournament. Went to overtime. It had a very unique scenario where the Shamrocks had to win by 5 for tiebreaker purposes. So they pulled their goalie with the Rebels having the ball and allowed an empty net goal, which tied the game at 8, sent it to overtime, where the teams traded goals until the Rebels finally sealed it. As the ball goes inside the crease while it was carried, and it'll be a Maverick ball. Mavericks used to playing a really tight games, and a tight game would serve them well here. As we touched on, the Blizzard likely having to win by 3 here to have a real shot at the final. Ball in the stick of Delaron, the big lefty, backpedals. He's knocked back a little bit, and the ball is moved over to Wiley. Wiley off of the ground, tried to throw it into the middle, and Hildebrandt picks it off. Here's Hildebrandt in, and he looked like he hit the pipe as he got knocked to the floor. Hildebrandt gets most of his looks in transition. Very good two-way player. Talked about it last night. His release point with the way he shoots the ball is tough for goalies to pick up, and Swan able to pick that one up, makes a good save on the cutter. Ball goes loose. It's picked up by Istis, who bounces the ball down the floor to nobody in particular, and the Blizzard are going to come away with it. It's got to be stressful if you're the Blizzard here, knowing that the clock is constantly ticking on you, having to win this by 3 goals. And trust me when I tell you, we were doing the math earlier today, winning by 3 separates them in most scores by about, I think, like the 3rd decimal point. It's very razor thin. 4-goal win would be much more comfortable for the boys from Winnipeg as Delaron comes into the zone. Delaron with good size and a heavy shot. Swings it to the top of the 24. Angus tried a BTB. It goes into the corner. And that is going to be picked up by Muratori. And he outlets to Delinsky. Another nice threat and transition for the Mavericks, who remind me a lot of, just in terms of jerseys, a lot of the Alberta Mohawks, who are in the middle of an Ontario final right now with the Ganawagi Mohawks. Or actually, the Ganawagi Hunters, sorry, their senior team is the Ganawagi Mohawks, but nevertheless, the Alberta Mohawks up 1-0 in their Ontario Junior B final. And the Mavericks looking to punch their ticket into the Founders. You could see those two teams, perhaps, down the road as that gets picked off. And it's going to be Maverick ball here with Ethan Hildebrandt. Tossing a pass, it's going to be back over. Fancy was too tight to the line. It bounced back over, so it'll be Blizzard ball. Delaron back out. He's pressed near the line. Delaron pinned against the wall. And that's going to be pushed back over the center line, so it'll be Maverick ball. I want to thank the City of Fort Saskatchewan. Explore Fort Saskatchewan, discover a place where family fun meets opportunity. Visit their downtown parks in River Valley. Work in a thriving community. Play where every moment is memorable. Visit, work, and play in Fort Saskatchewan. Here's Bauming. Swings it into the stick of Fancy. He goes in behind the net, but the pass wasn't brought in. And good job to evade the crease there and avoid a back in call was Peterson. Blizz back down into the offensive zone. Gray. It's going through the corner. Angus is going to control up top. Also had a nice chat with Jarrett Wood before the game. That interview will air with a bunch of other interviews with different teams, coaching staff, and personnel right before tomorrow's final. Make sure you check that out on the channel. Got some good insight into the Blizzard program and what they're all about as they look to try and win their second RML championship. They've been to 4 prior finals, winning in 2016. Ball goes in behind and through the corner, picked up by Wiley, swung over, and that shot misses the net. Ball's gonna bound down into the Blizzard zone. It's picked up and chucked to center. Harnack almost picked it off, but it rolls down the floor to the Blizzard, and that is a quick stick off the back door as Xander Delaron crept in behind the Maverick defense and slid one in behind Swan. That's the first goal of tonight's game, and the Blizzard lead 1-0. A lot of Delarons on this team. 4, in fact. And one of them gets them on the board here. Nice pass. Skipped from shooter down to the crease, and the Blizzard take advantage of the opportunity there to get the first lead of the game and the first goal. Now double team in the near corner. Now pinned to the wall. Ball goes loose. It's picked up by the Blizzard, and they'll control here. Again, the magic number here is likely 3. 3 is very tight though. Anything more, Blizzard will essentially book their ticket into the final, because it would knock their goals formula into a better number than what the Mavericks would have. Anybody at home wondering what the formula is, it's goals for divided by goals for plus goals against. So it takes all the goals you've scored and divides it by the total number of goals in your game against the teams you're tied with. And now on a breakaway, but the whistle blows. A Maverick got knocked down in behind the play, so it's going to be Maverick ball, and it'll wipe away the breakaway. That happened way behind the play. So yeah, to repeat that, the formula is goals for divided by goals for plus goals against, and Delinsky with a chance there. And that formula only applies in games where between teams that are tied. So the games that would count towards that are the games played between the Rebels, Blizzard, and Mavericks. As the ball goes in to the near corner, Delaron got tied up. Fans wanted a holding call, didn't get it. And now the ball goes in behind the net. Angus one of the Blizzard's strongest players and captain, forced to throw that blindly at the net with the shot clock winding down. Here's Steele for the Mavericks. Ball down low now. It's brought up a little higher. Banco into the middle. He's knocked down. Banco still with it. Banco goes to the floor. And now the Blizzard are going to get the loose ball. 1-0 as we approach the midway point of the first period. Ball over on the left side. Ty Woods swings it into the stick. And that's a shot from the outside by Andy Angus. Low far side. The Blizzard take a 2-0 lead. So the Blizzard jumping up by a couple here. And now it starts to get really interesting, given the scenarios we've been discussing from off the top. As the ball gets picked up and brought out by the Blizzard. And perhaps the biggest Blizzard fans here right now, aside from themselves, are the Rebels, because with a Blizzard win, the Rebels would be in. Ball is tossed in front, and that chance does not work out. Because, of course, then the Mavericks would fall to 3-1, and it would leave the Blizzard and Rebels at 2-2, even if the Rebels lost. And the Rebels beat the Blizzard head-to-head, so the Rebels would get in, and it would be a Maverick-Blizzard final. In front, and that's stopped by Swan. Excuse me, I messed that up. The Blizzard would go to 3-1 in that scenario. Angus with the ball. There's so many permutations to this. If you say it enough times, you could mix it up. Ball up high. It's picked up by the Mavericks, and Hildebrand is going to outlet it. Rebels are Maverick fans, I should clarify. As the ball goes and is brought down the wall by Sutherland. Bauming shoots that a little wildly and it missed the net. Fancy. He sort of rolled inside and got stopped on the backhanded shovel shot. Now a breakaway. And that hits pipe. The crossbar. Hudson Delaronde tried to go up high on Swan. I think he was called for stepping inside the crease as well. So the Mavericks back the other way as we go underneath 10 minutes of this first period. Ball on the right side. Delinsky is looking to swing it. He throws it at the feet of Banco. It's Riley Banco. He loses it. And here come the Blizzard. Another breakaway for them. And that's fought off by Swan. Hofer with the opportunity. Blizzard kind of playing the Mavericks game here and going full throttle in transition and sort of beating them to the punch. Not too often you see the Mavericks losing the transition game, but the Blizzard with multiple breakaways already here, showing they can play that style of lacrosse as well. That shot goes in from Delaronde. Xander Delaronde gets his second of the game. 3-0. That was taken on the run from about 10 feet outside the dotted line. Tough to get much on it, but Delaronde did a good job of sort of whipping his stick back and created a shooting lane for himself and shot it around the defender. Nice goal there, and a tough one maybe for Swan to give up though, as the Blizzard come right back down with it. They've owned the face-off dot so far. as the Mavericks come back down. Mavericks, of course, very capable of coming back. You saw it on opening night against the Rebels, fell down 5-1, ended up winning 9-7. Now a cutter to the net, Delinsky, and he scores. Beautiful off-ball cut by Delinsky. And that's one that the Mavericks desperately needed to answer back after falling down by a few early. Now here's Harnack getting that loose ball and doing yeoman's work to fight through traffic. Tarnack, and he tried to dive the crease from the wrong side of the floor and tried that little cross-body shovel shot. Missed the net, and he was also through the crease. So they'll blow it dead, and we'll have our first media timeout. I want to thank Vimy Ridge Academy. At Vimy Lacrosse, excellence is the standard. Led by some of the province's most decorated and experienced instructors. Vimy Lacrosse is the fusion of sport, academics, and personal growth. Unleash your potential with Vimy Lacrosse. Explore the academy by visiting vimyedmonton.ca/lacrosse. And the McDonald Cup, head out to watch the Predators, the Lakeland Heat, the Swift Current Wolverines, the Calgary Wranglers, and the Chaos battle to determine who will be crowned this year's McDonald Cup champion. Catch all the action starting August 7th from Brooks, or watch it on YouTube. You can get your 50/50 tickets as well. Draw will take place Tuesday, August 6th. Scan the QR code on your screen now, or visit our social media channels at CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X. So the Blizzard come out in a game that more pressure is on them, just in the sense that they have to win, and they have to do so by 3 or more, at least 3, to give themselves a shot at Monday's final. I want to thank you for joining us here on the channel, of course. It's been a crazy weekend of lacrosse as we start to wind down and get very close to tomorrow's final. Of the 10 years that this tournament has existed, I've seen most of them, and this one has been by far the most competitive, and I would say the highest level of play. These guys deserve a lot of credit, and we're seeing some of the best lacrosse going on anywhere in this province and really throughout Canada. The highest junior B caliber of lacrosse you'll see, as Delaron is going to control things here for the Blizzard. Seth Delaron had it. Now it's over on the right side. Angus, nice sidearm shot, turned away by Swan, who's had an excellent tournament. Another outside shot gets easily handled by Swan. Ball goes into the corner, and the ball is going to bounce off the glass right to a Blizzard player. That was Hudson Delaron. Stopped by Swan. So a sequence of saves there from the Maverick goaltender. And in a tournament that features some of the best in McGillivray and McDonough, to name a couple, Swan has probably been the best so far in this one. If you're talking about body of work, and has really made a difference for the Mavericks team, as now the Blizzard come back the other way. 7 minutes to go, first period. Blizzard up by a pair. And that's going to be a moving pick. And the Mavericks are going to gain possession. The ball was rolled a little ways away. I thought maybe a delay of game penalty was coming, but nothing of the sort. So Sutherland will come in. Pure goal scorer, and also can feed the ball quite well for this Mavericks team. A lot runs through him on the set 5-on-5 looks, but he throws that one away. And here come the Blizzard. McDonald hands off to Delaron. Seth Delaron, the lefty, tried to get that back up high, but the ball goes loose. Delaron hustles back, tried to save the over and back, and he ends up doing so because he drew an interference call, and the referee says it happened before the ball crossed. I mean, from here it looked like the ball was already crossed, but nonetheless, it'll be Blizzard ball. 6.5 to go in this first period. Blizzard up across the top, shooting. That misses the net on the short side. As Fielding tried to pull that back to the short side low. And now good loose ball there. And that shot from Delaron misses the net. Ball bounces out near center. That's a long shot that's handled easily by Swan. Good loose ball there by the Mavericks. A little bit of a press there, but they get around it. Bauming is gonna stop up here and look to the middle. Back door, and that quick stick was stopped. Now, a shot comes in and a riser. Turned away. I think they called back in there. Not sure about it. Maverick with the ball. Little slip into the middle, and Fancy was hit by 3 Blizzard. Now the shot gets soaked by the Blizzard defense. And here comes Winnipeg back the other way. Fancy slipping a little bit on the floor behind the play. He looks like he's all right though. And the Blizzard will regain possession here. Delaron swings it into the stick of his brother. That ball almost got through Swan. Jelinski, been really impressed with his game as well. The Maverick goal scorer in this one. Feeds it, and that's stopped right on top of the crease by Isaby, who's been sharp so far for the Blizzard. And the Mavericks, the Blizzard, back the other way. Ty Woods, drag move, comes back up top, winds, fires. Swan, easy stop for the big man. And now Ethan Hildebrandt has got it. And he'll hand off to Sutherland. Sutherland, 2-man game with Bauming. Sutherland ran into Bauming. They collide there, and it's a turnover, and here come the Blizzard. Mavericks get onto the floor quickly. They're going to say there was some type of moving pick or infraction behind the play on the Blizzard. So the Mavericks had possession. Ball was thrown dangerously across the floor. Banco took the brunt of a hit. Now the play is stopped. I don't quite know what's going on. I don't see anybody going towards the box. Maybe officials timeout. So somebody's saying somebody might have got kicked out. We'll wait and see. I don't know what for. So the officials will discuss. While they do so, I want to thank the City of Fort Saskatchewan. Explore Fort Saskatchewan, discover a place where family fun meets opportunity. Visit their downtown parks in River Valley. Work in a thriving community. Visit, work, and play in Fort Saskatchewan. And Vimy Lacrosse, excellence is the standard, dedicated to molding well-rounded student athletes. Vimy Lacrosse is a fusion of sport, academics, and personal growth. Unleash your potential with Vimy Lacrosse. And of course, as always, visit vimyedmonton.ca/lacrosse. So I have no idea what that was about, but we'll resume play here. Ball is back into the stick of Delaron. It's a common theme on this Blizzard team. When they're on offense, it's highly likely the ball's in the stick of a Delaron or an Angus. Delaron backdoor, and just maybe a little bit too faded behind the net was his brother Xander. Here's Muratori. Muratori underneath a little bit here. He tried to skip it across the crease. Banco did not bring it in though. And here come the Blizzard, but the Mavericks take that away. Good reverse transition by them, making sure they had numbers back. And here is Angus. Will Angus swings that. Ball back over to the right side. Delaron. That's a hard riser that missed the net. Hit the glass a little bit too high. Out of the stick of Wiley. Mavericks back the other way. Here's Painchill popping down the side. Ball back up top. It swings into the stick of Bauming. Roll to the net, but Sutherland couldn't bring it in. But the ball bounces right out to Painchill. He had Sutherland too late though, and he missed him with the pass. And the ball goes into the stick of the Blizzard. Not at home. That's why you tell your guys to look to the middle right away when they pick the ball up. He had Sutherland and then threw it too late and way too far behind him. Missed opportunity there for the Mavericks. Blizzard move the ball around. Up high with it. Delaron. The ball was off the floor. Might have been called a moving pick as well. 2 minutes to go. Just less than that as we get in the later stages of the first period. 3-1 Blizzard lead. In a game they need to win by at least 3. Mavericks stay ahead of them in the formula with a 2-goal or less loss, or of course if they win the game, the tiebreakers don't even matter for them. They're in. Bauming swings it. Now wide open underneath Banco, and Isabe is able to dive down and prevent that ball from crossing the line. The ref is still looking here. He waves it off. Net is off, so we'll stay 3-1 here. Not sure how Isabe kept that out. Looked like he was almost behind the goal line on that as the Blizzard come back. Ball moves over to the right side. 50 seconds to go now in the period. Genesis Place Airdrie. Game number 9 here of the Larry Bishop Memorial. That ball is mishandled. That'll be over and back, and the Mavericks could hold for what they looks like they're going to call a timeout. No, they're not. Muratori back the other way. Muratori gets shoved out from harm's way as he tried to work his way into a dangerous area of the floor. Bauming hooked onto a little bit. He gets it over to Sutherland down low. Sutherland operates against 2 Blizzard defenders. He tried to sort of post up in between them and got knocked down. Here come the Blizzard. Only a few seconds left to the net, and Swan forced into making a save there with very little time as Hofer pushed the pace. So that'll do it after the first period of play. The Winnipeg Blizzard leading the Mountain View Mavericks by a score of 3-1. I want to thank you for joining us here on CROW LAX TV. Cannot thank everybody enough for the tremendous amount of viewership we've had throughout the weekend. Numbers starting to soar. Let us know what you're thinking, feeling, who you got winning this game tonight, the Larry Bishop as a whole, and talk and give us your thoughts in the chat. After one period of play, it is the Blizzard 3, the Mavericks 1. See you in about 10 minutes. And welcome back inside Genesis Place in Airdrie, Alberta, where it's the Manitoba Blizzard, Winnipeg Blizzard, I should say, leading the Mountain View Mavericks by a score of 3-1. In a game where the Blizzard are in need of winning by at least 3 to put themselves in position to make Monday's final, where the Mavericks just need to win the game. If they were to lose by 1 or 2, they would almost certainly get into Monday's final, barring some of the math being off, which I don't think it is, as the ball goes into the corner and it's picked up by the guys in dark unis, and now the ball is gonna trickle out over the rag line. And the Blizzard had numbers there momentarily, but the ball was kind of behind its intended target, Delarond, and now the Mavericks are going to take a penalty. Hildebrandt's going to go to the box. Once again, everybody tuning in from across, not just Alberta, but I would think Western Canada, with a lot of Blizzard fans and watching the game, maybe a few from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, maybe some people from BC scouting, who knows. Want to thank everybody for tuning in and enjoying what has been a great tournament here over the weekend, trying to determine who represents Alberta at this year's Founders in Hamilton. So the Blizzard go to the power play, up a couple of goals. Ball goes up top, back to the left shooter. They work it back, a little bit of a strange bounce pass there. Delarond skips it to the crease. Ball back up with Delarond. Shot comes in, and that did not hit the net. It's gonna go back over. Well, they say that he batted it in time, but the shot clock goes off anyway. The Mavericks will transition up. Talked about it leading into the tournament, but the Blizzard have not missed a single Larry Bishop since its inception. The very first year they did not make it, and ever since 2015 and beyond, they've been in the dance. They won it in 2016 and have made 4 finals, so they're no strangers to this tournament. And what makes it so impressive as well is they're always a team that plays 2 9 a.m. games in this tournament because they don't play the Friday night. They're always in the mix. Deserve a lot of credit as that shot comes in, stopped by Swan. 45 seconds to go in the power play. Delarond plays catch with his brother. Backpedals a bit. They're really working the ball between the two of them. Shot, sidearm, gets stopped. Both of the Delaronds, there's 4 of them on the team, but the 2 you're seeing on your screen right now in particular, very large individuals, a lot of size and strength to go with their skill. That shot gets stopped. Angus behind the back, and that got a piece of Swan and rolled up atop the net. Blizzard around the perimeter again here. Mavericks explode, but Delarond decided to keep the ball and went to the net. Missed the net. And the ball goes loose to the far boards. And then the ball lays on the cement for a while, and now the Mavericks grab it. And almost a perfect rainbow pass there over a Blizzard player, Delarond. And here go the Mavericks with their first possession in a while. Banco. And that shot rattled the crossbar, it looked like, on a riser from Bauming. Now the ball goes loose, and it's picked up nicely by the Blizzard as they transition out Lafreniere with that ground ball for the guys in white. 16:45 to go, second period. The Mavericks killed that one off, and which was a big moment for them as they try to narrow this lead. They got down 3-0 early and got it to 3-1, and that's where we sit. Ball gets soaked. Up top, now around the net. Andy Angus with a sidearm. Now he gets the rebound, and he misses the net again. So the Mavericks avoid disaster there. That would have been a tough one to give up. As Istis, guy with size in his own right, hands it off. Mahalik shoots that, goes off of a body, and the Blizzard have numbers. 3-on-1. Ball over to Hofer. Hofer winds, and he pulled it short side wide. Ball's gonna go back over, and now the Mavericks have an opportunity to go. Ball was rolled to the boards. The Mavericks wanted to delay a game. They're not gonna get it. We start to go back and forth here a little bit. Sutherland out in front as he cut to the net, walked the crease, and Isabe did a good job of staying with him. Hofer. 3-on-1 again. A bad change by the Mavericks, and the ball is sitting between the feet of Swan, and he turned the right way. Didn't knock it into his net. You don't see the Mavericks get caught in reverse transition like that very often. They've gotten caught a few times, though, in this game. Uncharacteristic of the team from Mountain View, as the ball is going to be worked around on the left side. Ball swings into the stick of Bauming. Bauming down the right side. Rolls off a check and span back and shot it into the midsection of Isabe. Isabe, not the tallest goaltender. He's got some good width to him, and he's got very good feet. Able to get down on one knee at times when he needs to. Very quick across the net. And now Delarond had the ball and then lost it right out in front of the net on a little bit of a pick and roll. The ball is picked up by Swan. As we sit right on that line of 2 or 3 goals here. The magic number again being 3. The Blizzard needing to win by 3 here to put themselves in position to make Monday's final. The math does, it's literally 3 decimal places difference on a 3-goal win. So depending on the total number of goals scored in the game, it could swing slightly, but it's likely that if the Blizzard win by 3, they would get in. Now there's a slash behind the plate. Mavericks are going back to the box. So the Blizzard will have back-to-back power play opportunities. Vimy Ridge Academy at Vimy Lacrosse, excellence is the standard, led by some of the province's most decorated and experienced instructors, dedicated to molding well-rounded student athletes. Vimy Lacrosse is a fusion of sport, academics, and personal growth. Unleash your potential with Vimy Lacrosse. VimyEdmonton.ca/lacrosse. Ball goes up top now, a bit of an exploding box again. You've seen that with the Mavericks all tournament long. We've seen teams have success when they send a guy into the middle, as the Shamrocks often do. Didn't do it a whole lot until the end of the game when they had success. Now, a high shot handled pretty easily by Swan, and Hildebrandt comes back out. He makes sure he crosses center before he takes a hit. Now he's going to roll it back up high. 13:30 to go, second period. About 1:15 to go in the current Blizzard power play. That ball was behind. Looked like maybe Banco. And the Blizzard are going to get a bit of an unforced turnover here to go their way. It's been a slower second period compared to the first. A lot of transition looks, especially for the Blizzard. Blizzard sort of beating the Mavericks in their own game, at their own game. And then a sharp angle shot from Delarond. He caught Swan unsuspecting. Swan a little deep in his net. That's a rough one for the Mavericks there. It's 4-1. That was a power play marker. Blizzard go back up by 3. I also want to give the Lakeland Heat a shout out as they capture the Tier 2 championship, beating the Lloydminster Extreme in the final. 2 teams from the North Division making it in. And and two teams that were very familiar with one another, would have played each other growing up a lot. So congratulations to the Lakeland Heat. They are the 2024 Tier 2 RMLL champions. And to the net, cut off at the very last second, was Ty Woods. Hildebrandt waiting for someone. Finally, Fancy comes and gets it. Already only 15 seconds on the shot clock for the Mavericks here. Bauming rolls back. Bauming getting pressed up high. He loses it, and the ball is going to be knocked towards the boards. A couple of blizzards surround the ball, and they're going to force a 30-second shot clock violation. Nice transition here by Peterson. He gets the ball safely into the stick of Andy Angus. Two-man game over on the weak side here. Angus shoots that, missed the net. Looked like it hit his own guy in behind the net. Now that ball sent up the floor, but that was tightly marked. Harnack with that opportunity, but he was taken away. Angus. Angus to the net. Stopped by Swan. It's one area you're not going to beat Swan, and any really, any decent goaltender, you're not beating 5-hole. And I felt like teams in this tournament have shot way too often to Swan's 5-hole, intended or not. Sutherland gets tied up and gets thrown down to the cement as the Blizzard come back. Hofer, who's had a very strong game for the Blizzard in transition. He's cleared the ball for them countless times and had a couple of nice looks at the net. A strong hit there. Knocked a much bigger Delaron to the floor. Now he loses it. And the Mavericks come away with it, in need of getting their offense going here. See the Mavericks bench asking and pleading them to move. This is the time of the tournament where fatigue can start to set in a little bit. Ball with Muratori. Muratori, and he scores! Muratori with an individual effort to the net. And he gets the Mavericks back within 2. Talk about guys who can create their own shot. Muratori definitely fits into that category. Can sort of create something out of nothing. Very few guys have that ability. It's very difficult to do. Defender always has the advantage if they have any kind of idea how to play positionally sound lacrosse. And man, oh man, Muratori's got quick feet. And the ability to finish when he gets those opportunities. Very explosive is the kid for the Mountain View Mavericks as that ball goes in front of the net, and a BTB. Avoiding the crease was Delaron, but couldn't bury it. Good loose ball there, and the Mavericks will come out. Banco swings it to Fancy, quickly back over to Mahalik, which is what the Mavericks need, more of those quick swings to get the Blizzard defense having to move in and out a little bit more. And now in transition is Gray. He pulls back out. 9:40 to go in the middle frame. And we sit Blizzard up 4-2. Ball is thrown back. That's going to be over and back. Well, the ball took a weird bounce, but it went back over anyway. Now we'll have our media timeout of the second period. So if you're joining us late here, the scenario, while sort of complicated, is also relatively simple. The Mavericks win, they're into the final at 4-0. Nobody would come close to touching that mark. If they lose, then if they do so by 1 or 2, they should be good and into the final. If it's by 3 or more, then the Blizzard surpass them in most scenarios in the goal formula and would get in, and the Rebels with a win would be in as well. Now if the Mavericks win, then the final is set, because no matter what the Rebels do, win or lose, the worst they can do is finish 2-2, and they would finish tied with the Blizzard at 2-2, but they beat the Blizzard head-to-head, and that's the first tiebreak. So the Rebels would be in. So the magic number in this one is 3. If you see the Blizzard winning by 3, then that goal formula really gets interesting. And I promise you, I have nothing written down here in front of me. I'm just going off of what the formula is, what the numbers that I calculated out to be. That's the way it should shake out. Now again, 3 is dicey, because if it's 3, depending on what the final score is, because the score, it favors lower scoring games, because the formula, once again, is goals for divided by goals for plus against. And it's only the teams that are tied that those games apply to, or that formula applies to. So it would be Rebels, Mavericks, Rebels Blizzard, and Blizzard Maverick games that would go into that formula. Ball goes near the Maverick bench. Hildebrandt gonna pick it up, and he's gonna get it over onto the left side here. Fancy outside shot, misses the net. Now it's picked up, and a quick stick look. Fancy unable to bring it in. Now he grabs the loose ball. Fancy drag move to the net. Fancy, and great save by Isaby, and they say that Fancy stepped in the crease. So it wouldn't have counted anyway, but really nice drag move underneath his defender there. And for people at home, yeah, there's people out there that call it a toe drag. That's hockey. Forget toe drag. It's a drag move, and Fancy executed it quite well there. Now the ball is lost, and here come the Mavericks. Sutherland off the bench. Sutherland, but he got stripped at the last second. Nice check there by Lee. And the Blizzard doing a good job of back-checking there. Now stopped by Swan in transition. Barclay with massive size advantages almost over everybody on this floor, other than maybe a couple of the Delarons, as that ball gets lost and back into the possession of the Blizzard in a fast-moving second period. Not many stoppages here. Penalties, goals, or anything of nature that would stop this game, as Delaron shoots that. Stops by Swan. Barclay with the loose ball. He's got to move his feet, though. Taking his time, and now he gets it to Hildebrandt. Nice pass up the floor to Sutherland. Perfect error on that. Sutherland backs his way to the net, and he got pushed in. Isaby makes the save. Now, in transition, and Swan turned away great. I'd say my biggest surprise out of this one to this point is how well the Blizzard have transitioned. They've had all the looks, really, in terms of breakaways and 2-on-1s. Now a Maverick gets sent to the floor. Blizzard fans don't like it. But there's going to be a penalty coming up. Sutherland swims. Sutherland! And that just went wide on the pull shot down low to the short side. So with 6:58 to go in the second period, the Mavericks will get a crack at the power play. Down a couple of goals. Be sure to get your 50/50 tickets. The CROW LAX TV 50/50 draw will take place on August 6th. Scan the QR code on your screen now, or visit our social media channels for more information at CROW LAX TV on Instagram and X. And thank you to the City of Fort Saskatchewan. Explore Fort Saskatchewan. Visit their downtown parks in River Valley. Work in a thriving community. Visit, work, and play in Fort Saskatchewan. So the Maverick power play is going to look to click here and narrow this down to 1. Sutherland, Hildebrandt tried to skip that across the crease, but it went way wide of its target. And now the Blizzard come back down. They'll slow play this, trying to drain some clock here. Delaron And that is Seth. Is going to draw a double team as he works his way slowly behind the net. He's pinned to the wall. He keeps his cradle going. Delaron gets sort of tackled into the crease. I don't know what they're calling here. Oh, Delaron looks like he's down. I think officials waiting to see if he's hurt. I don't think he is. Well, he's hobbled a bit. But he will jog back to the box. Here's Sutherland. Skips it down to the crease. Fancy, and he goes 5-hole. Fancy looked like he was going to try to reach around Isaby. Got him to lift his stick just enough. And came back to the 5-hole. A rare time where the 5-hole is a good shot. If you're down low on the crease and you're able to fake that reach around shot and get the goaltender to lift his stick up. Fancy did a good job of that. Mavericks within 1. So after trailing for most of this game by 2 to 3 goals, the Mavericks have it back down to 1. As we start to get into latter stages of the second period. Again, Winnipeg has to win by at least 3 goals here. It's hard enough to win a game, especially in a tournament of this nature where everybody is so close and the competitive balance is so tight. Having to win by 3 goals is very tough. Put it this way, if you're putting odds on this game at a spread of 3.5 towards the Blizzard, you'd get massive odds on that. As the Mavericks come back down. Sutherland, yeah, and he cut off ball, had a shot inside the 24. He sort of faded to the wrong side of the floor. So you got to be careful here not to take a penalty as he starts pushing and shoving with a Blizzard player behind the plate. Now off the bench, twister and stop by Swan. Excellent stop there and a great release by Hudson Delaron. Ball goes in behind the net. Barclay is going to box his man out and eventually picks it up. Barclay is pressed here, gets it up the floor. Myris with a good job to get over as he was kind of trapped in front of the line and had to do some solid work to avoid the 8-second count. Ball is on the half wall, but that pass not close to its target, but the Mavericks will draw the interference call. So they'll get a fresh 30 with 4:28 to go in this second period. Ball thrown inside, goes to the far boards, mishandled, but it's picked up by Benko. Swing, and that was a quick stick to the short side, stopped by Isaby. Mahalik, who was picked up from Cranbrook. And you're thinking, Cranbrook, what the heck? Well, Cranbrook is now playing in the Okanagan League. They played in the RMLL Tier 2 division last year. The Mavericks able to acquire Mahalik from the Cranbrook Black Wolves for cash, I believe. And he has been a nice addition for them as Paincho comes back into the zone. Paincho tries to go underneath. He's pushed out. Good defense there by the Blizzard. Ball back into the corner. Around the net goes Delinsky. Delinsky looks into the middle, and that ball almost went off of Isaby back into the net. Mavericks get the reset. Ball is thrown behind the net from corner to corner, and Sutherland is able to grab the loose ball off the glass. Sutherland around the net. Sutherland, and he got stripped at the last second. Ball goes loose, and it's batted forward. And here comes the Blizzard back into enemy territory. 3 minutes to go in the second period. Blizzard 4, Mavericks 3 here from Genesis Place in Airdrie. Angus peels back out. Angus to Delaron, outside shot from distance, handled by Swan. The other thing I would say is it's tough to beat a team by margin when they have solid to excellent goaltending, which I do believe the Mavericks possess. Ball swings over to Delarond, and that's stopped by Swan. Sort of shot that off his back foot. Quick release there by Delarond. It's worked for him already in this game. Ball over on the right crease. Works his way out in front. Angus into the stick of Swan as he just smothered that. Now the ball is mishandled by Hildebrandt, and Delarond almost able to grab the loose ball. He took a hack from Hildebrandt that sort of made that difficult to pick up. Now the ball up high, down low. Tinley goes in behind the net. Tinley around the net. Tinley stopped by Swan. There's a delayed call coming up against the Mavericks. Ball shot from the corner, harmless. And now Hildebrandt's going to pick it up. Mavericks are going to go to the box. So the Blizzard power play will come out onto the floor here with 1:34 to go in the second period. Up 1. Again, needing to win this one by at least 3. So big moment here for the boys from Manitoba. Ball is thrown and they exploded up again, causing that errant pass. Very good job by this Maverick penalty kill. It's been strong all tournament. That shot pulled to the short side. Angus BTB, and he missed the net. Angus goes down to the floor, did not see the hit as Harnack to the net, loses it. Probably wanting to pull that out with 2 defenders right in front of you. But he elects not to do so, and then takes an interference call. Now they probably missed something behind the play here, but ref wasn't looking. And so we'll remain 5-on-4. Delarond. Ball works her way around the perimeter. Probably want to take the 2 Delaronds up high, the 2 big shooters away, and the Maverick style of playing that exploding box does a good job of that. Ball goes wide. And that's going to be a 30-second violation on the power play. Don't see that too often. Again, this Maverick kill has been one of the better units in this tournament, if not the best. When you're talking power play, penalty kill, 5-on-5. So it looks like the Mavericks, with possession, are going to take a timeout. And I would imagine they'll go 6-on-5. Gotta say, I love how busy the chat is here tonight. Seeing a lot of funny stuff, a lot of chatter, and I encourage all of that. Lacrosse needs people paying attention, and the more people, it was nice to see earlier in the day the junior roughneck U15 and U17 teams were in the building watching the games. Were very into it, weren't leaving their seats, watching every minute of action. I can't say how important that is. And it's great to see the Alberta lacrosse community supporting what has been a great tournament here in Airdrie. And the Silvertip organization as well has put on what has been a tremendous 4 days here. And of course, we still have tomorrow to go. Bonnie, Darren, and I know there's tons of volunteers that go into this, that make this thing happen. And a lot of it is thankless, so those people deserve a lot of credit as the ball is going to sit up high. Mavericks getting chased a lot more than you would see typically on a 6-on-5 look. It's actually 5-on-4 as that ball is going to be sent at the net. Probably would have had time expire before that ball crossed the line, but good job by Mahalik to get back and intercept that. So after 2 periods of play, it's the Winnipeg Blizzard 4, the Mountain View Mavericks 3. I want to thank you for joining us here today. All you got to do is hit subscribe. You'll be notified each and every time a game goes live. After 2, it's Manitoba, Winnipeg 4, Mountain View 3. We'll see you in about 10 minutes for what should be a great third period. And welcome back inside Genesis Place in Airdrie, where it is the Winnipeg Blizzard leading the Mountain View Mavericks by a score of 4-3. Mountain View with a win, or tie for that matter, which a tie cannot exist anyway, so it's obsolete. But Mountain View with a win would be 4-0 and clearly into the final. If they win by 1 or 2, almost certainly into the final. If they lose by 3 or more, I believe the Blizzard hold the goal formula at that point and would be in. As the ball goes in front and stopped by Swan as he compressed his body together, making sure it didn't go through him. Swan is going to pick up the loose ball, come back up floor. And if you're the Rebels, you're in with a win. Your goal formula is better than both of these teams right now. And if the Rebels were to lose, they'd be in with a Mavericks win regardless here. Essentially, if the Mavericks win this game, the final is set. It'll be Mavericks and Rebels. It gets interesting if the Blizzard win by 3 or more. As here come Winnipeg up over center. Ball is lost, and here's Harnack. Breakaway. Harnack and stopped by Isaby. He ran through the crease afterward. Easy possession call. It'll be Winnipeg ball. And here come the Blizz in transition. To the net, all the way right down Main Street was fielding. Breakdown there defensively. Swan covers it up. Now, over across the top. Ball moves over to the left side, and Fielding pulled one to the short side and missed the net. So with that in mind, and having to win by 3, if the score remains close like it is, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Blizzard start pulling their goalie at like the 10-minute mark. I would say maybe anywhere between the 8 to 10-minute mark. If they're only down, if they're down by 1, I would think they would start pulling their goalie pretty early. As the ball comes back up. Ball moves into the stick of Wiley. He lost it though. Back-to-back possessions are turned away. Delinsky. He's going to slow it down here for the Mavericks. And as aware as the Blizzard are of the goal formula, you got to know the Mavericks are as well. They know they're in position here. Even though they're losing, they're in a decent spot right now. But if this extends out any further, then that's where they get out into trouble. Ball is over with Delarond by the Maverick bench. He's chased down the boards. Nice little flip pass to his brother, but the ball goes loose. Now, quick swing goes wide of its target. Ball bounds back into the far corner, and it's picked up by Delarond. Delarond to the net, and he got dragged down by a hit. And Istis is going to run away from traffic and get the ball to Muratori. He's got another one in this game, right after a hat trick last night in an 8-7 win against the Shamrocks. In another barn burner. Shamrocks maybe playing the 2 most memorable games. There's been a lot of them in this tournament, but Shamrocks Mavericks and Shamrocks Rebels were 2 of the very best. As into the middle, Fancy kind of faded over to his wrong side, lost the ball. Now, good pressure there by the Mavericks, and Sutherland grabs it and one-hands it. Nifty play there by the dangerous Maverick sniper, and then Harnack with the shot. Now, Blizzard fans up in arms. Blizzard player knocked to the floor, wanted a penalty. They're going to call possession in favor of the Mavericks. 15:50 to go, third period, 4-3. The Blizzard lead the Mavericks. Ball is picked off, and here goes Tinley. Tinley right in. Tinley, and he's stopped by Swan. And as good as Swan has been in this tournament, I think his real strength has been how good he's been on breakaways. I know the Shamrocks had a number of them against him last night, and he was excellent there. Rebels, same thing. And the Blizzard with plenty of breakaways in this one, and he's been very good on those as well. And now, silver tips for that matter as well. Really every game the Mavericks have played. Swan's been excellent on breakaways, but now the Mavericks are going to go to the box. Looks like Bauming. It looks like he's headed to the sin bin. And by the signal, it looks like for roughing. So a paramount power play here for Winnipeg. Into the middle, sub shot, stopped by Swan. Delaron with that. Now the ball is batted around. It almost went into the stick of Delaron. Then it gets batted back out of play. It's going to be Maverick ball. And let's see if the Maverick penalty kill can come through once again. You almost feel like they don't mind going short-handed. They killed so many off so seamlessly. But obviously you're playing with fire in a game that you need to at least stay close in. And you're trailing already by 1 with 14.5 to go. Ball with Sutherland. Sutherland misses the net well wide. Then a shot out of the corner is soaked, and that'll be a shot clock violation. 1:11 to go on the power play, 14:18 to go third period. It's the 3-0 Mavericks and the 2-1 Blizzard in a game that has heavy final implications on it. Coming up next, it'll be the Rebels and Silvertips. The Rebels may or may not have to win that game to get into the final. Ball in behind the net. It all depends on what happens here. Ball up top. Now that shot comes in, and a riser hits Swan in the chest, and it's going to be battled for in behind the net, picked up by Angus, who's had a very good game for the Blizzard. Picked up, moved up top, skipped to the crease, near crease, back up to the shooter. They're going to take an outside shot, goes off a leg and out of play. That should be Blizzard ball. It will be, as it hit a Maverick on its way out. Blizzard, 15 seconds to go in the man advantage. Mavericks explode up. Delinsky causes an errant pass. It's picked up off the floor and wound and fired wide. That's going to be back over, and the Mavericks are going to get another kill here. Muratori is going to go and pick this one up. They get a break because it goes all the way to the net, and then Muratori dives, and a one-hander is offered at Isaby. He makes a stop. Isaby very good in this game on those inside sort of crease dives and quick sticks down low. He's made a handful of those types of saves. Cannot fault goaltending on either end in this one here tonight. Now Wiley got knocked up high, fell down, ball goes into the corner. And a good loose ball there by the Mavericks, but they lost it. Probably could have been back in, but not called. And now a Maverick tackles a Blizzard player and behind the play, and it'll be Blizzard ball. And those are the types of little plays that might not seem significant that can really add up. And obviously you're talking about a small sample size, only 12.5 minutes left. Those extra possessions matter, and now Barclay, the big man, is in. Barclay, he's stopped by Isaby. Isaby, again, dropping down, showing his athleticism. Blizzard, Delaron, and that's stopped by Swan. Ball is thrown away, though, and it's going to have to be run down by Banco. Banco is going to chase Angus, who boxes him out, but Banco has the ball bounce to him. And great hustle there by the much smaller Banco. Wins that loose ball battle, and that'll be Maverick possession. That shot goes wide. And it's mishandled by Dolinsky. It's going to be back over, and it's going to be Blizzard ball. 4-3, Blizzard lead, 11:38 to go. Game number 9 of the Larry Bishop Memorial. 3-0 against 2-1. Here's Delarond. Muscles his way to the net. Delarond tried to stuff that through Swan. And once again, that 5-hole just not open for business. That ball goes way behind its tendon target. And the ball bounces back off the boards, and it's going to be picked up, and a hard hit there at center on Garriock. Now the ball gets pushed back over, but it was by the Mavericks, so no back over. And now it's thrown up to Delarond. Off the bench come the Blizzard offense. 10:50 to go. Delarond to the net, loses it at the last second through traffic. And now here come the Mavs, but they're pinned in deep in their own zone in the corner. Ball is gonna get tied up amongst bodies, and we're gonna have an interference call go against the Mavericks. Also should mention, have not seen Luke Hildebrandt for, I don't know, about a period or so. He got banged up and he's remained on the bench. One of the Mavericks' most prolific goal scorers has been out of commission here. Now the ball is picked up. Dolinsky. 3-on-2. Dolinsky. A Blizzard player is tackled off the ball. They let the play continue, and Isaby makes the save. Definitely something that I would have expected to be blown dead. Stays in possession of the Mavericks. Sutherland. Sutherland tried to go through 2 Blizzard players. He gets thrown to the floor. And that's going to be a media timeout and a wipe of the floor here. With 9:48 to go in the third period, we have got another exceptionally tight game here. The Blizzard leading the Mavericks 4-3. Having to win this game by 3 or more to put themselves in position to get a spot in tomorrow's gold medal final. I want to thank you for joining us here on the channel, CROW LAX TV. All you got to do is hit subscribe. You'll be notified each and every time a game goes live. We've covered the Warriors, the Crude, the Outlaws, of course the Rebels who are here at this tournament, the Shamrocks and the Silvertips. Home games all season long. We covered the North playoffs and the Silvertip and Shamrock games, home games in the playoffs, and now we've been here from the start at the Larry Bishop.
Somebody asked in the chat too.
And once again, also love the interaction in the chat. Let's make that a norm going forward. We'll have a lot of games coming up next year, of course, as well. Get involved. Watch these other teams. Even if you're, I love the guys in the league that are playing presently and watching other teams. Creates a better atmosphere and just makes for better action and a lot more to talk about as that shot gets stopped by Swan. And Istis with a good loose ball, but his pass gets picked off by Wiley. Blizzard into the offensive zone. 9 minutes to go. Time running out on their season, perhaps. Ball, I shouldn't say season, because they are going to the Founders as the Manitoba rep. But I would say in terms of the RMLL season, as the ball is picked up and brought in by the Silvertip, or by the Mavericks. Ball down out of the corner, driven down low. Couple of hacks there. Ball over to Dolinsky. Dolinsky surveys. Dolinsky offers a shot right into the midsection of Isaby. And that ball's knocked down by a good stick from Dolinsky, but the ball popped up back to Manitoba and it was thrown up the floor. to Tinley. And here come the Blizzard. Now the run has to happen. There's 8 minutes left. They're in need of at least 2 more goals here. If the Mavericks, and that's assuming the Mavericks don't get any more. Shot. Rebound, and that's stopped by Swan. Great save by Alex Swan to keep this at a 4-3 game. I don't know about anybody else at home, but I think Alex Swan has definitely answered the bell from what some would say was a little bit of a rougher Central final against the Silvertips. As the ball goes back into the middle, and it's going to be picked up by the Mavericks. I truly believe he has been the best goaltender at this tournament, has Alex Swan. But Isaby has been no slouch either. He's been very strong back the other way for the Blizzard. And here come Winnipeg, way outside. That shot on the riser is stopped, and it's going to be picked up by the Mavericks. And now I would expect the Blizzard to start pulling their netminder after this 2-on-1 here. Hildebrandt tried to get it across the net. Good stick there by the Blizzard. And I'm looking at the Blizzard bench. Not looking at their netminder yet. I see head coach Jarrett Wood, though, talking to some of his fellow coaches. I don't know if they're deciding on when they want to do it, but it has to be soon here. As the ball bounces back over center. Here's Delinsky. Ball is thrown away, and it's going to be picked up by the Blizzard. Now under 7 minutes left. Blizzard still up by 1. Isaby will remain in net. See, I think you got to be aggressive here. As wide open in the middle was Hofer. Ball goes loose. Yeah, I just think you got to be aggressive here because it's almost like you're down 3 goals right now in a way. At least down 2 as that ball swings. Ball, shot, and right into the stick of Swan. And then you add to the fact that the way the Swan is playing, you got to try to maybe step on the gas here a little bit. 6 minutes now, just over 6 minutes to go. We've got a timeout on the floor. I do not believe a team called it. Maybe the Mavericks called it. I don't know. So it is a Mavericks timeout. They looking to sort of gather people in. I think what Trey Christensen is doing is making his team aware of the situation. Because again, they got to avoid losing by 3. If they keep the score where it is or even give up another goal, they're good. But if they do lose by 3, then they've put themselves in major jeopardy. So I think this is a very smart, the timing of this I think is an excellent choice for the Mavericks to take this timeout right now and make sure everyone on that bench is aware of the situation. Because the situational awareness in these games is everything, as any coach will tell you. And that's the other thing too, is it's been a long 2 days here of action for the Blizzard. You've got to be starting to feel some major fatigue if you are them, and having to score more goals here to keep your life alive, as the ball is going to get picked back up by the Mavericks on the far boards. Drag move by Sutherland, and as he was falling, got it. They say he got it on net, so it'll be another potential 30 seconds drained off the clock. Fancy is going to get to Mahalik, who tried to BTB it back to Fancy. Fancy picks it up off the cement, comes out of the corner. He's knocked down, gets rid of it. Probably a good thing, as he prevents any potential fast break from going the other way if he had lost it. And here come the Blizzard. Tinley in need of a couple goals here still. And now it looks like the Blizzard are taking some type of penalty. Looks like unsportsmanlike conduct here. I don't know, something looks like it might have been said near the Blizzard bench. And obviously something that can't happen right now if you're on Winnipeg. Looks like Tinley's going to the box. So now a shorthanded goal becomes borderline necessary if you're on the Blizzard side of things. 5:10 to go. The Blizzard winning the game, but trailing in the big picture. Also got to give a shout out to the in-house DJ who's done a great job playing beats here. Some pretty good music selection on tap here in Genesis Place as the ball goes up top. Mavericks, more than anything, don't want to give up anything back the other way here, as they're going to risk that now, though, as the Blizzard transition out. Ball is brought up by McDonald. McDonald hops between a couple of defenders and gets it up high to Hofer. Wide open is McDonald, but the pass was late and then it was dropped, and then McDonald got blown up. I don't, got to think that's at least an interference call. Apparently not. As the Mavericks going to be able to drain more time here. Shot. Mihalik, shot soaked, and Hofer is going to run. Hofer over center. He's going to back out. 4 minutes to go now. Clock becoming a real factor here now for the Blizzard. They got a minute left to kill on this penalty. Angus to the net. Angus stopped by Swan. Angus is a guy that can beat one or two guys to the net. He was entirely on his own there in the offensive zone and still got a pretty good shot away. For me, the Blizzard's best player is Muratori, goes in behind the net. And obviously the Delarons are dangerous as well. As the ball goes to the boards. Shot soaked by the Blizzard. The ball will go and bounce near the bench. Now it'll be Blizzard ball. I think the 30 went, but they reset it mistakenly. Isabee's got to start to come to the bench. Like, this is just too late now. I know they're shorthanded, but I was surprised it wasn't happening earlier, before that occurred. And I would imagine as soon as they're even, which is in 2 seconds, as soon as they get the ball, Isabee will be going to the bench. Again, they're leading 4-3 here, but they need to win by at least 3 goals to have a realistic shot at the final. Now, here come the Blizzard up the floor. Isabee remains in net, though. Ball is up in the offensive zone. 2:45 to go. Out in front. Ball not brought in. Up across the top. Angus. Angus got run away a little bit too severe of an angle. Angus from behind the net tried to bank it in off of the back of Swan. Doesn't go across the line. And here come the Mavericks racing up in transition is Harnack, and he'll get it over to Banco. And now you're definitely in clock draining mode if you're the Mavericks. Just got to avoid getting scored on a couple more times. You're not even really too worried about putting one in. Obviously getting one would seal it, but you want to make sure you're solidified. You can see it already. 3 guys changed early for the Mavericks, and they make sure they got guys coming out the back gate. Less than 2 minutes to go here. Blizzard in need of a couple. Winning the game, but needing to win by margin. Up 4-3 at the moment. Now backdoor. Fielding, and great save by Swan as he stayed with Fielding and got the shoulder. And now an empty net is missed. Delinsky had the ball pop back but couldn't grab it, and then Hildebrandt saves the back over. Delinsky, sub shot, misses the net. Ball bounces back, and now it's picked up by Sutherland. And they're going to try and drain some clock, I would think now. 1.5 minutes to go. Delinsky rolls to the net. Delinsky backs out into the corner. Sutherland double teamed. Ball comes back out high. It's lost, and now a penalty is coming to the Blizzard. And so the Mavericks, with 1:15 to go, only trailing one, are going to go back to the playoffs, or going to go back to the power play. So with 1:15 to go, the Mavericks are, I would imagine, are just going to hang on to this ball and waste 30 seconds. You can take almost half of the clock that remains out of the equation here. And yeah, Winnipeg's going to have to start chasing this out. Shot. That misses the net. And it's picked up. Cross crease pass is not accurate. And here come the Blizzard, 44 seconds to go. Ball into the stick of Delaron. He tried to throw it to Angus. It was behind him. And here come the Mavericks. Istis is down behind the play. 30 seconds. And this clock is going to really drain down here. Blizzard not doing a whole lot to chase it down. 20 seconds now. Double, slow to arrive. Now it turns over. Blizzard really not playing this all that aggressively. And now, as this clock hits 4 seconds, the Blizzard are going to be tagged for another penalty. And a Blizzard player is going to be thrown out. Look like an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So with the math the way it is, it's extremely tight. I think that the Blizzard need the Rebels to lose, but it is possible with this final score, especially with how low it was, even though it was a 1-goal spread, it could see the Blizzard edge out the Rebels, but the math, we need to do the math here now that we actually have a final score from this game. And that will be talked about right off the top of the next broadcast. As we have our players of the game here.
For the Mountain View Mavericks, Alex Swan.
And Alex Swan wins his second player of the game, of the tournament. Very deserving.
And for the Winnipeg Blizzard, Andrew Isabey.
And back the other way, Andrew Isabey gets his nod as the player of the game. So we'll calculate things and we'll be right back with you here from the Genesis Place in Airdrie. Final score, the Winnipeg Blizzard 4, the Mountain View Mavericks 3. Thank you, and we'll see you in just a little bit.